What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to your video. Today, I'm doing race 6 for the 2025 EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series heads to their first road course race of 2025 at Circuit of the Americas, a track that can put on some really exciting and fun racing and can create some very intriguing racing from time to time. The last time we ran the Cup Series race at Circuit of the Americas, we saw William Byron, I believe, pick up a second win of 2024. He'll be looking to pick up his second win of 2025 this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. So now, let's go ahead and jump into picks. But before I go ahead and jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So the weather for this weekend is looking extremely promising. It's going to be 74 degrees high with 60 degrees as a low with a 10% chance of rain with partly cloudy skies. Going to be some really nice weather headed out to Texas Motor Speedway. Should be some really good weather for this weekend. Before going into picks as well, there is a new layout to this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. They have shortened up the track to be very similar to the Supercars layout that was used back in 2013 and 2014. So they'll have a little bit of extra practice this weekend at COTA to try to get prepared for the racing that is going to end up taking place. They've got a different layout this time around to try to help the race a little bit and be a little bit closer for the fans to see. So now we'll go ahead and jump into picks. For those of you new to the channel, here's how picks usually work. I do 2 suck picks, 2 underdog picks, a winner's pick, and 5 drivers you need to watch out for. But because we're on a road course this weekend, I got 3 suck picks. 3 drivers I expect to struggle throughout the weekend who will not have a good run this weekend. I do 3 underdog picks. 3 drivers who desperately need a good run this weekend, who I think will have a good run or are really good at this type of track. And I do my winner's pick, the driver who thinks is going to win the race overall. And for this weekend, I got 7 drivers you need to watch out for along with the race winner. So now, let's jump into picks. Who are my suck picks for the 2025 EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix? My first suck pick for this weekend at Circuit of the Americas is a driver of the 21 car for the Wood brothers, Josh Berry. Josh Berry is not the best road course racer in the field, and pretty much every single road course race in 2024, he finished in the back of the field and got caught up in a ton of crashes and a ton of incidents. I'm not expecting much from the driver of the 21. He really just hasn't been a great road course racer. The 21 team also struggled last year in road courses with Harrison Burton. Of course, going to replace Haley Deegan this year. I just really don't expect much from Josh Berry this weekend. I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, and I think he's going to finish in the back of the field more than likely this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. My second suck pick for this weekend at COTA is a driver of the 43 car for Legacy Motor Club, Eric Jones. Eric Jones used to be a really good road course racer when he drove for Joe Gibbs Racing. However, over the course of the last couple years, Eric Jones has really struggled in the Gen 7 era. I don't really expect much from him, unfortunately, this weekend. The 43 team's been very mediocre to start off 2025, and I'm not really expecting much from the number 43 team, as I think it will be a little bit of struggle for Eric Jones this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. I think Eric Jones likely finishes outside of the top 25 this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. And my third and final suck pick for this weekend at Circuit of the Americas is the driver of the 6 car for RFK Racing, Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski back in the mid to late 2010s was one of the best road course racers in the field. But for some reason over the last half decade or so, he has really struggled at these types of tracks. And I'm not expecting anything to be different this weekend. He really struggled at COTA, spun out multiple times, has spun out a lot of road courses in the next-gen era. I think it's going to be a really bit of an uphill battle for him this weekend. I think Keselowski is going to struggle quite a bit, and I think he likely finishes in the back of the field and probably gets caught up in some big crashes and some big incidents for sure this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. And now we'll go ahead and jump on the underdog picks for the 2025 EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick for this weekend at COTA is a driver of the 23 car for 2311 Racing, Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace has improved a lot on road courses over the course of the last couple years, and he had really good speed at this race as he qualified inside the top 10 for the race last year at COTA before unfortunately getting hit by Court LaJoie and still recovering to finish inside of the top 15. He had some decent runs on road courses last year in 2024 and also has shown some really good speed to start 2025. I think Bubba Wallace will actually have a really strong and I think a pretty solid run for sure this weekend with 2311 at Circuit of the Americas. My second underdog pick for this weekend at COTA is the driver of the 99 car for Trackhouse Racing, Daniel Suarez. Daniel Suarez has not started his year off on a really good note. Unfortunately, got crashed out at Atlanta Motor Speedway and didn't really run that great at Daytona either. but I think Suarez will actually have a little bit of a bounce back run. I don't expect it to be a major threat for the win considering how many good caliber drivers are going to be in the field this weekend, but I think Suarez will contend for a top 10. He needs to have a good run this weekend. I think he will have a good chance and opportunity to definitely have a good run this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. And my third and final underdog pick for this weekend at Circuit of the Americas is the driver 71 car for Spire Motorsports, Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell will be for the first time with the Spire organization, but I think McDowell is going to run really well. Now, last time at COTA, he fell out of the race early due to electrical gremlins, but was running inside the top 10 before the issues crept up. I think Michael McDowell is going to be a major factor to go to victory lane. I really like the pace and speed he showed. I think that Michael McDowell will have a good chance and opportunity to contend for top 10 for sure this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. And now we're going ahead and jump on to the winner's pick for the 2025 EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. Who am I picking to win? My winner's pick this weekend at Circuit of the Americas is going to be a no-brainer. This guy's been really strong road courses in the NASCAR Cup Series. He did win his first Cup race on his first start at Chicago a couple years ago, and he also picked up 3 Xfinity road course wins in 2024 and probably should have won the COTA race last year. I am picking the driver of the 88 car for Trackhouse Racing, Shane Van Gisbergen, to pick up his first NASCAR Cup win of 2025 at COTA. SVG is going to be going to a track where he's very familiar with. He's going to have the advantage with the new configuration they're going to be running, with the braking zones in and out. He's one of the best when it comes to braking. I think that Shane Van Gisbergen and the number 88 team are going to bring the pace and speed, especially with Trackhouse being stronger than Kaulig was last year. I think that Shane Van Gisbergen will be able to be the guy to get it done. I'm going with him to pick up his first win of 2025 this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. And now we're going ahead and jump onto the drivers you need to watch out for this weekend at COTA. Who should you have your eyes out on? The first driver to watch out for this weekend at COTA is a driver of the 87 car for Trackhouse Racing, Connor Zilisch. Connor Zilisch will be making his NASCAR Cup Series debut this weekend at Circuit of the Americas with Trackhouse Racing, but he's already one of the odds-on favorites to go to victory lane because of how good of a road course driver he has been. He won the Rolex 24 in the LMP2 class, won the Sebring Chalmers LMP2 class in 2024. In his NASCAR Xfinity Series debut, he was able to win and dominate that race. I think Zilisch will be a major factor for the win. I think he will contend for the pole this weekend. I think Connor Zilisch will have a really good chance and opportunity to win this weekend at COTA. The second driver to watch out for this weekend at COTA is a driver of the 45 car for 2311 Racing, Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick, since getting over to 2311 Racing, has been one of the best road course racers in the field. He also won a COTA back in 2023 and has been extremely strong to start off the year as well, after finishing runner-up in the Daytona 500. I think Reddick's going to be a major factor to go to victory lane. I think I'll have a great chance and opportunity to potentially get win number 1 of 2025 this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. The third driver to watch out for this weekend at COTA is a driver in the 9 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Chase Elliott. You can never count out Chase Elliott at a road course, considering I believe he has 6 or 7 NASCAR Cup wins on road courses. Now, he has not won the Next Gen era at a road course at this point, I will give you that, and he's been alright at COTA, but I think Chase will be a factor. There's a lot of swagger from the 19 currently at the moment right now, and I think if there's a track that Chase could potentially win, I think it definitely is a track. Like Circuit Americas, I think it will be a factor to go to victory lane. The fourth driver to watch out for this weekend at COTA is the driver of the A car for Richard Childress Racing, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is coming off finishing in the top 10 in the NASCAR Cup Series race at Atlanta this past week, and I think Kyle Busch will be a factor for at least the top 5 or 10 because the number 8 car is the same car Reddick ran. Rich ran really good at road courses the last couple of years. I think Kyle Busch will be a factor for at least the top 10 and maybe even also have a chance and opportunity to contend for the win this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. The fifth driver to watch out for this weekend at COTA is a driver of the 24 car for Hendrick Motorsports, William Byron. William Byron's been really strong on road courses in the Next Gen era. He won a Watkins Glen back in 2023 and is defending winner of the race at COTA in the NASCAR Cup Series. Plus, he will have some experience from running the NASCAR Xfinity Series race as well. I think William Byron will be a major factor to go to victory lane. I think Hendrick Motorsports will bring some pretty great pace and speed that William Byron can be a major contender for the win for sure this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. The sixth driver you should watch out for this weekend at COTA is a driver of the 48 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Alex Bowman. Many people don't consider Alex Bowman to be the best road course racer in the field. However, COTA would beg to differ. Of all the road course tracks, this is one of his best on the circuit, and I think Bowman will be a factor to win. He could have won the race last year, had a really strong car. He almost won the race in 2022, is fast in 2023. I think Alex Bowman will be a major factor to go to victory lane this weekend, and I do believe that Alex Bowman will have a car capable enough to potentially pick up his first win of 2025 with Hendrick Motorsports this weekend at COTA. And the seventh final driver that I think you should watch out for this weekend at COTA is the driver of the one car for Trackhouse Racing, Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain has been really strong at Circuit America since coming to this track in 2021. He had a fast car in 2021, of course won his first career NASCAR Cup Series race at this track in 2022, was fast in 2023, and also fast in 2024. I think it will be in the consideration to go to victory lane. I think the one team is going to bring the pace and speed to definitely go to victory lane. I think that Ross will have a car potentially capable where he could potentially pick up his sixth career NASCAR Cup Series victory for sure this weekend at Circuit of the Americas. So, those are my race picks for the 2025 EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. Just a reminder, my suck picks are Josh Berry, Eric Jones, Brad Keselowski. My underdog picks are Bubba Wallace, Daniel Suarez, Michael McDowell. My winner's pick is Shane Van Gisbergen. And the ones to watch out for, Connor Zillich, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, William Byron, Alex Bowman, and Ross Chastain. Those are my race picks. So, that is going to be it for the Race 6 video for the 2025 EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your picks below for this weekend at COTA. Tell me your suck picks, tell me your underdog picks, tell me your winner's pick, and let me know the drivers you're watching out for this weekend at COTA. Let me know your picks in the comments below. In a couple hours from now, you're going to see the paint scheme video for the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix on the channel. Tomorrow, you're going to see a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple days, and there should be a video on the pole qualifying for the Xfinity Series. Then, of course, on Saturday, we're going to have reactions to Cup pole qualifying, and then, of course, we're also going to have the review for the NASCAR Xfinity race as well. Then, on Sunday, we are going to have the starting lineup video for the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix, and we also should have the race review, and then Monday, we should have a NASCAR news video dropping, and then Tuesday, we'll probably have the intros for the Shriners Children 500, whatever the race is going to be called at Phoenix. Got content coming out of people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Lurz, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, other people like Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Matt DiBenedetto, Shane Van Gisbergen, all the good stuff. With Ross Chastain as well will be coming out on the channel very, very soon. So anyways, like I said, and Connor Zillich too. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.